Hey, what is going on, YouTube? Aaron here. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday here. And we've got another teaser trailer for you guys here today that was just dropped today on the World of Warships Legends official YouTube page. New York City 2124 here, 100 years in the future. We're going to go ahead and mute this and let this play because sometimes this music is copywritten. But we've got a New York City futuristic looking port here. I'm not going to lie, I'm not a huge fan of the futuristic type stuff in this game, but this does look pretty awesome, and I'm always a fan of the New York City port. But here is the main, selling point of this video, the Vendetta Rossia here, the Ruggier dell'Aria. I'm pretty sure my Italian ancestors are going to be mad at this one. And we'll let a little bit of this play as it is a little bit ironic. They actually kind of, I don't know if they did it on purpose, but they troll the cost in the video here. And we'll just let this play for a second.
The question isn't whether you can afford it, it's whether you got the guts to actually use it.
I'm not sure I would have, if I was the marketing team, I would have put that in the video, as we typically know that the Christmas event, especially a legendary tier ship, is, one that sometimes costs an obnoxious amount of money, and I actually mentioned that in the comments of this video. That is not what this video is about. We're just going to look at the ship, and hopefully it's, honestly, I hope it's a campaign ship. I'm not, for, easy access legendary tier ships, but I'm definitely not for $200 campaign or grind. It's not, I don't even know what to call it, a project or a special event ship is typically what they're called, that you have to complete a series of missions, and usually you have to buy crates in excess in order to get the tokens, in order to get the ship. But and we actually made that comment here. Yeah, they kind of talk about the cost in the video. I don't know if that was their intention, and I love Robin to death, and his edits are fantastic. But let's go ahead and go over to the World of Warships Legends wiki here, the PC version, and look at the Ruggier dell'Aria. I looked up the pronunciation, and it's not Ruggiero, like Ruggiero, like my dumb American self would typically say. So Ruggier dell'Aria there, and I'm sure the experts in the comments are going to tell me how to pronounce it. But a fast battle cruiser armed with 8 457mm guns. This project is based on ideas introduced in 1921 by Italian naval engineer Fernando Casson. In addition to its remarkable armament and displacement, both quite advanced for that era, the project stood out for its innovative anti-torpedo defense system and 2-tiered power plant. All right, so 457mm guns with a 30-second reload. And what is unique about this ship is it is not AP and HE, it is AP and SAP. That's right, 457mm SAP. This thing is going to absolutely shred, at least for the first 1 or 2 salvos there. And I actually want to go down here and mention this because, so it has short fuse AP and SAP. So not the typical Italian AP. I believe it does have good penetration angles. So it does have improved pen angles as well. So the guns are absolutely going to slap, with the exception of maybe, like long range, high shots that require a little bit more penetration. With that short fuse AP, you do lose a little bit of pen, obviously, at kind of range there. So keep that in mind. You won't be getting necessarily the deletions on Yamatos like we have with Colombo there. But on top of that, you get 79,200 health, or at least the PC version does. And let's go ahead and look at this. Now, the SAP secondary armament as well is 7.3 kilometers base on PC. However, they mentioned in the stats or the little breakdown here that it is not necessarily the best secondary ship. Like Giuseppe Verdi, a tier lower, and her tier 10 cruiser counterpart Napoli, Laria has SAP secondaries. She uses 8 of the same 135mm turrets as Attilio Rigilo's main battery, 4 on each side of her ship. However, she does not get any sort of improved range or dispersion, and is stuck with a terrible, they say terrible, which sometimes is meaningless in the context of, Wargaming's description of ships, but a 10.7 second reload. They can penetrate up to 38mm of armor if they hit, but are not worth investing into. At most, they'll provide a bit more damage against the thinner targets that wander too close. So that's not necessarily a great thing. However, she does come with a good bit of other perks in terms of maneuverability and just different aspects like that. But let's go ahead and look at the pros here. SAP main battery shells with improved penetration angles. I'm pretty sure that's applicable for her short fused AP as well. I don't know if I'm wrong on that. Someone please correct me in the comments below. Improved main battery dispersion. You are battle cruiser, so sometimes you get that little bit extra dispersion. And again, dispersion is the circle ellipse of which your shells can hit into, and grouping is how well they group inside of that ellipse. That took a long time for me to kind of understand, and again, sometimes you can, an RNG is how, the dice roll you get of throwing those shells in that group, in that ellipse there. But anyway, secondaries, fire SAP shells. She is fast, excellent concealment, and repair party heals more citadel damage, which is actually kind of a fun little fact. You can heal most, if not all, of fire and flooding damage. You can heal a moderate bit of penetration damage and very little to 10%, if any, of citadel damage. And moving on over to the cons here, we've got low health, vulnerable, oddly shaped citadel, short main battery range, ineffective secondaries, poor AA defenses, large turning circle, and cannot set fires, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, no access to HE, as I made that mistake once before in a video there. So, but the SAP main batteries of 457mm guns should absolutely wreck a good number of targets there. So on top of that, I also believe the ship comes without a rolling smoke screen, so you do not get your get out of jail free card there if you miss position. So positioning is going to be absolutely vital there, as it is with 95% of this game, and some players still refuse to learn that. But anyway, this ship should be fun. I'm excited for the ship. I'm not excited how it probably gets implemented into the game. We all know wargaming is wargaming, and I feel like I'm out of all of the community. I feel like I'm pretty fair in the regards that I don't go full, conspiracy theory and just, whiny, little brat about wargaming charging prices. But if this ship is, and, does end up being $100 to $250, it's just, how many times can we get away with this, before we just, I don't know. Just be cautioned. I'm going to leave it at that because I have another video talking about just the reskins and, how I feel like we're getting further and further away from lines to grind, and content that is not behind a paywall. But that is how most video games are, naturally. You look at Call of Duty, Fortnite, any of the major video games, Destiny, I know our good friend Hustle there has whaled a sword or something that's $500. I don't know. Just realize that is a majority of video games. If you have the funds and you like the ship, I will of course do a review if I get access to the ship from Wargaming. If not, don't worry about it. It's just another ship. They tend to create FOMO with these types of events, which sometimes indulge it. Encourages people to indulge, lustfully there on overpriced pixel boats. But anyway, that is what we have for you guys here today. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you excited for this? Are you not? Aaron out. Peace.